Well, another PLE and another potential disaster, okay? Elimination Chamber this year looks absolutely atrocious. Now, obviously, the PLE could end up being absolutely amazing, right? It could be wonderful. Amazing booking, maybe some great in-ring spots, some memorable moments in the Rock segment, maybe. Maybe Sami versus KO could be a banger, But it's just not going to happen in my personal prediction. What I think is that this is going to be a very underwhelming PLE because some people are actually expecting this to be great for some reason. Let's be real here. I think this is going to suck. Everything on paper, right? Every single match just has too many different issues heading into it booking-wise that puts you in a bad predicament. And we're going to go ahead and run through each match and what are the special events I think could happen, but also why I think that most of these matches, and segment, obviously, with the Rock and Cody segment, are likely going to end up being either mid, bad, but a couple of these could end up being solid or even great. So we'll just go through it. And quick side note before I get into this actual show and the predictions for it, I just want to quickly highlight the fact that you guys remember, right, in Elimination Chambers when championships were actually defended, on both sides, for men and for women. Championships were defended inside of the chamber because even though someone had won the Rumble already, right, or, you have the chamber coming up and then Mania's coming up after that, these champions would not just wait and sit back and wait for the challenge to come to them. They would actually go to the challenge and fight and defend their championship because that's what a fighting and defending champion does. You don't just sit back and wait for the competition to come to you, even though you have the belt, you still go and fight for it because champions used to be believable. Now you have people like Cody, Rhodes, and Rhea who are the available champions who just aren't even wrestling or defending their belts on the PLE. They're just showing up, I'll just sit back, I'm Cody. I'll just sit back, I'll just sit back and talk to the final Diddy. I respect you, Diddy. I love you, final Diddy, and I accept your offer. And then you have Rhea Ripley, sitting back, I can't beat Io Scar, yeah, so I'm gonna wait, yeah. I'm gonna wrestle her at the night after, yeah, and then predictably win in 10 minutes, yeah? Are you kidding me? This is a level of champions, and the level of what being a champion means is now compared to what it was, let's say 10, even within the last, 8 to 9 years, and then obviously backwards. It's just absolutely ridiculous. Starting off with the Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Candice LeRae. Shout out to Candice LeRae for getting on a PLE. I mean, I don't really know how many PLEs she's been on in her career on the main roster, but you know what? This is probably one of the only ones, if not the only one. But you know what? Congratulations to her. I think she was on the pre-show last year for the chamber, so I guess not, but still, you get the point, right? I think she was on the pre-show for King and Queen of the Ring last year as well, so there you have that. But anyways, this match is probably going to stink. There's no scenario where this is likely going to be over a 5 out of 10. There's no legitimate scenario where that's going to happen, right? Just look at who's in the ring. Trish Stratus is not in her prime in the ring. Tiffany Stratton, quite frankly, has actually been botching a decent amount in her matches recently, at least from what I'm seeing, right? And then obviously Candice LeRae is pretty solid in the ring. Nia Jax is actually solid in the ring as well, in my opinion, right? But the fact is that the combination of all four of them, right, the fact that there's no real story that's really good here, right, there's no real intrigue in this match. I doubt the crowd's going to be super interested in it. Maybe they're interested in the Trish Stratus stuff because she's the hometown girl for this match, but at the end of the day, there's no, in what world is this above a 5 out of 10? Be real with yourself. From a booking and in-ring perspective, this may be a 6 out of 10 at best, and then afterwards, we may get a Charlotte face-off, but who really cares about this? Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus are obviously going to get the W here, and it's as simple as that. Now let's get on to Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, part 159,000. Now at this point, there's no real story behind this match. They're just fighting because it's about that time of year again where KO and Sami start feuding. That's all this is. It's about that time of the year where they start getting mad at each other randomly, and they're upset with each other. And don't worry, guys, this one's different than the last one, and this feud is different than the last feud we had, and then this feud is different than the last feud we had. It's not different, right? This is the same thing. They're upset with each other because they made a mistake, and the other person's pissed off at what they did, and they have these long ties in the wrestling industry. So that's all it really is. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, though, should be a sleeper match. I think everyone knows, even though the thing is that this match is hyped up as some special occurrence, even though we've already seen this 15 times in the last 7 years. You know what I'm saying? It's just ridiculous at this point. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens is a repeat match, and for some reason, in Sami Zayn's recent interview on Raw, he's like, Sami Zayn's like, I visited Kevin Owens' house, and he's like fake crying. He's like, this is going to be a war. I'm upset with who I've been, and I'm upset with who Kevin Owens has become, and this is going to be a disaster, and you must stay careful, Kevin Owens, because this is going to be an absolute bloodbath, a war, whatever you call it. I'm like, dude, this isn't that serious. Like I said yesterday, they're pretending like this is like some war with ancient weaponry that's gonna like change the fabric of reality. Like, this isn't Thanos versus Superman. It's Sami Zayn versus KO. It's Jobber versus Jobber part 50, So I think it could be entertaining, though. They obviously have great in-ring chemistry. They've been in the ring many times over their whole entire wrestling careers, so they're going to have good in-ring chemistry. There's probably going to be some really cool spots involving ladders and tables and chairs and, kendo sticks, weaponry, announce table maybe, right? And there should just be good in-ring quality, in-ring wrestling, right, in terms of this match. And hopefully there's decent in-ring storytelling, but the story leading up to this has me incredibly bored. There's nothing to latch onto. There's nothing I haven't seen really before. And quite frankly, I'm not interested in this match at all story-wise, but in-ring wise, this should be pretty entertaining in my opinion. It will likely be it might be the best in-ring match on the entire show, quite frankly. But the story afterwards is basically going to be bland, right? Where does KO go from here? Where does Sami Zayn go from here, right? Randy Orton just randomly comes up, he comes back, and then him and KO are feuding after KO just had this mega feud with Cody Rhodes, which was absolutely underwhelming, mid, and arguably garbage. And then you have this little mini feud with Sami Zayn that gets one match, and then we move on from that. And then we get KO versus Randy. Like it's just very ridiculous. And then for Sami Zayn, where does he go from here? Karrion Kross? It's over. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is Sami Zayn going to go? He's going to feud with Drew McIntyre? I can't stop thinking about Punk. That's what he's going to do next? Like, he has nothing to do. So Seth Rollins as well, he had some issues with Sami Zayn. Like, this dude has nowhere to go. And it's as simple as that. But if I had to pick a winner, I do think that Sami Zayn is going to I honestly don't think there is going to be a winner, actually, now that I think about it. It's unsanctioned, so I don't think there is going to be a winner. I think they're going to beat each other both to a pulp, and it's going to end out that way, right? And then that's pretty much going to be it. They'll both get knocked out. They'll lay out. But if there is an actual winner, it will be Sami Zayn, in my personal opinion. So, yeah. Anyways, now let's get on to the next thing, which is going to be the Rock and Cody Rhodes segment. Now, let's be real here. After the absolute disaster that was shown on SmackDown, there's not really many scenarios where they can spin this into something good. And there's multiple reasons as to why. Now, number one, Cody Rhodes is likely going to lose the belt in this year, right? It's going to happen. If Triple H has any business smarts, or if anyone in WWE has any business smarts, you know that Cody Rhodes, as your WWE champion, is not what's best for business. He just isn't the best star you have available. He's not that good on the mic. Actually, matter of fact, I think he's below mid on the mic. I'm not going to say he's garbage because he's cut a good promo or two, like every now and then, but he's below mid on the mic. And honestly, in many scenarios recently, he's been awful on the mic. Then you have in-ring, he barely wrestles, and when he does wrestles, yeah, he's like decent matches, but they're usually like 6 to 7 out of 10 quality or around there, maybe an 8 out of 10, like his Styles match, or, a situation where his, his match with what's his name, bro? Logan Paul, I thought at King of the Ring last year was like an 8 out of 10 level match, but other than that, this dude doesn't really do much. He's a pretty much boring and bad champion. So what is there to come from this? Plus, The Rock isn't at Mania 41, so, I don't really care. At least we don't think he's at Mania 41 as of now. That's what it seems like. And The Rock literally has nothing to offer Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes' entire journey has been finishing the story, finally winning the belt that his dad never got to hold, and winning the WWE Championship, going from undeniable to undesirable to, from undesirable to undeniable, and now he's gone from undeniable to unwatchable. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what is there, right? He won the belt. He's finally the WWE champion. He's one of the faces of the company. He's on all the billboards, all the posters. He's the goody two shoes, the face. Like what else does he need? He has everything he needs. This is a dude who was Stardust, and now he's the WWE champion, main eventing WrestleManias. He's got everything he needs. He's got the money, he's got the power, he's got the championship. What else does this guy need? Besides better promo work. You know what I'm saying? Like what is there, So I just don't see a scenario where The Rock has anything really to offer this guy. And I think this story was thrown together on the fly because they needed a boost in ratings on SmackDown because they had record low ratings like a week or two ago before The Rock was there. And that's just really all this was for, and at the end of the day, The Rock has no ideas of what he's doing. Unless Roman Reigns shows up inside of this segment, there is no point of even talking about this segment. Let's be real. Unless they're setting up Rock versus Roman, what is there to talk about here? Cody Rhodes potentially turning to the dark side, which we know he's not going to do because it ruins his credibility and goes back on who he is. He wanted to be a goody two-shoes. He wanted to win that belt. He wants to be the fighting champion, even though he never wrestles. He wants to be a workhorse champion and a symbol of hope for the fans. He wants to be that Superman, John Cena babyface-esque character, but has none of the features of John Cena in terms of his quality and his skills as a wrestler. So, and as a performer, and as an entertainer, as a promo worker, etc. So it's not believable. Cody Rhodes as a heel is not going to be believable, and it's not going to make any sense. And then obviously when it comes to The Rock, I'm sure he'll regurgitate some of his same points and basically say the same things he always does. We're friends. You and The Rock, we're friends. You and The Rock, we're buddies. Me and you, we're buddies. Me and you, we're friends. It's like, dude, just stop. Just stop it, right? It's ridiculous. He calls this dude a great champion. You're a phenomenal champion. You're an amazing champion. You're a great champion. You're a phenomenal champion. Like, dude, what? This segment is going to be a waste of our times, and unless Roman Reigns shows up to set up something with him and Rock, there's no point of watching this segment. So there you have it. Then we get on to the next thing, which is going to be the women's champ. Or I guess I should go through what I think The Rock will offer. The Rock, I think, will offer Cody Rhodes a certain level of extra power, maybe, right? In the storyline, Cody may be one of the members of the board of WWE, and potentially he'll get special favors from The Rock, like ensuring the fact that Cody does not lose the championship. I think that will be the offer. I think Cody will decline, and maybe this sets up a Rock versus Cody match, right? Or maybe The Rock goes to someone else and it gives them the offer, and they take it. But at the end of the day, I don't really know what to say about this. They've given us no option. I mean, people were left stunned and speechless after the final Diddy promo that was cut on SmackDown. So, I mean, I don't really know what to say about this, man. I really don't. Now let's get to the next thing, which is the Women's Elimination Chamber match. And this match, again, is booked into a corner because there's only one acceptable ending to this match. Well, there's two acceptable endings, but only one of them is truly a great, way to have a winner in this match. So let's go ahead and go through all of the participants because I don't really think there's any true good winners here, at least in most scenarios. Bayley is just not a good scenario to win this match, okay? Her championship reign was awful. She just had her main event opportunity at last year's Mania, and now her stock has fallen down to 0. She had a terrible championship reign. She's wrestled pretty much no great matches over the last year since Mania 40, and you also have to, I thought that her match at SummerSlam with Nia Jax was actually pretty solid, but other than that, nothing really notable has she done. She hasn't had any notable feuds, anything like that, and quite frankly, she's been down in NXT, feuding around with Roxanne. She just has nothing of meaning right now. So her stock to win a championship or to even be in a main event level match at Mania is just absolutely non-existent. So she will likely not be winning. Roxanne Perez, like I said before, it was easy for her to be, a big fish in a small pond in NXT, where all you have to do to get over is just wrestle good matches and cut one okay promo like every 5 months, right? So she was over in NXT, but now that she's on the main roster, we saw it a couple weeks ago, she's not getting a great reaction because, quite frankly, no one in the general audience probably knows who she is. Then you also have the fact is that, look, Roxanne Perez, at the end of the day, it's just not officially proven to be able to put on main event level quality matches on the main roster or be able to cut even average promos in general. She's not good on the mic. Her entrance music, in my opinion, isn't good, and she's not super over yet with the general main audience. So in that case, why would she ever have a chance of even winning this match? I guess she's just in here to have a similar situation to Tiffany last year where she showed out in the match and got over with the crowd with the Tiffy time stuff. But what are they going to chant for Roxanne? Something I don't know. It just doesn't work. Roxanne Perez, it's easy to be a big fish in a little pond, but now you're going to be a little fish in a big pond. And it's as simple as that. Now on to Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss might win this match. I mean, quite frankly, she's probably going to join the Jobber 6, you know what I'm saying, again. So I don't really see a scenario where she wins this because I think she's headed over to join them and Uncle Howdy and all those people. But I mean, I'm cool with her winning because her promos are great and she can elevate stories. That is the key with Alexa Bliss, and she's solid in the ring, you know what I'm saying? So Alexa Bliss is definitely a sleeper pick here. She is one of the acceptable scenarios to win this match. If she wins, I will not be mad at all. I'm actually going to be fine with that if she wins. I would prefer for her to win it basically over 99% of the other options. So there you go. Then we have Naomi. She isn't winning, so we can skip over that. Yeah, so she's not winning, so it's over. Bianca Belair winning would be cool, right? But Jade Cargill is probably going to play a role in the Naomi and Bianca storyline thing going on there. So I don't think Bianca or Naomi has a great chance to win this match. However, if it's revealed that Naomi is the attacker of Jade Cargill and Jade goes specifically for Naomi and costs her in the chamber, which I think if Jade's going to return, it should happen inside of this match. Maybe as Bianca or Naomi are about to get an upper hand and potentially win the match or get deeper in the match or advance or eliminate someone, I think Jade should show up in this match. It makes perfect sense for it to happen, and it just sets itself up perfectly, right? But if Jade strictly goes for Naomi and saves Bianca, and maybe that's how Bianca wins, then I'd be okay with Bianca winning, and then Bianca winning right there would be the best possible outcome. If Bianca Belair wins, you get Bianca versus Rhea for the World Championship, and I think that that's the most engaging story you can cook up with the women that are left and available, you know what I'm saying, to feud for WrestleMania 41. And then obviously, you know, Liv Morgan is just a no. This is a no option. We've seen this a billion times. The fans, if they did this, the fans would have an absolute outrage, and people would be upset that Liv Morgan's even within 5 feet of Rhea Ripley ever again after what we had to endure in 2024, especially in the later parts. So this is just not going to work. It's going to either be Bianca Belair by way of help from Jade Cargill, or just because Jade goes strictly after Naomi, or the other acceptable option is Alexa Bliss winning. If I had to pick an option, though, I do think that, Alexa Bliss is going to win this match, okay? I'm kind of torn between her and Bianca, you know, I really don't know. I don't know, Jim. You know, I don't know between those two, but if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss, because I don't think she needs to join the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six are full of jobbers. They get no TV time, and they have no engaging stories anymore. And not that they ever did, in my personal opinion. I've been calling that they'd be written off TV after 2 matches. I said that as soon as they debuted. You know what I'm saying? Now look at them. When is the last time we've seen them? What, December? You know, it's over. That faction is terrible, and there's really nothing that they have that really matters anymore, at least in my personal opinion. So I think Alexa Bliss should win and go on a singles run, and hopefully her and Rhea Ripley can build a good feud. That's one thing that she can do that Bianca can't, is really elevate feuds and stories with her promos. Bianca has shown cases of doing that in some scenarios in the past, like with Becky Lynch, but Becky Lynch was kind of elevating her more than Bianca was elevating Becky. And I think that Alexa Bliss could do the same thing for Rhea, which Rhea really needs. She's still young in her career, and I think Alexa Bliss could help elevate her, and maybe she potentially wins the belt. But I'm going to go with Alexa Bliss as my final pick to win the match. Then we have the men's chamber. Let's be safe here. Damian Priest is not winning this match. Damian Priest is not winning this match. Logan Paul is not winning this match. Now, he may end up fighting Cena or Punk, which I'll talk about in a second, but he's probably not going to win the match. Drew McIntyre is a jobber now who just lost to Jimmy Uso last week on SmackDown, so he's basically over with. This dude went from saying, I can't stop thinking about Punk. You're spreading yourself too thin, Seth. I can't do this. I can't stop thinking about Roman, the Bloodline, Jay. And then he lost to Jay at the Raw Netflix premiere. And then after he lost to Jay, he then lost to Jimmy, you know, and now after he's lost to both of the Usos, and he was in close matches with Sami Zayn, it's safe to say that Drew McIntyre is never stepping a foot near World Championship gold in the near future. So that's that. Seth Rollins is a fill-in guy. You know, he is always filling in wherever he's needed. If he needs to fight Logan Paul like at Mania 39, he'll do that. If he needs to go feud in with joining the Bloodline versus Cody feud last year, he'll do that. If the year before he has nothing to do, so they just feed him to Cody Rhodes, he'll do that. He's a fill-in guy. He doesn't necessarily need to be in a main event spot, and he's never main evented a night 2 or just a WrestleMania in general. You know what I'm saying? You can count Mania 31 if you really are going to be that tacky about it. You know what I'm saying? He cashes in, so you count it, but still, this dude's not main eventing, and it's as simple as that. He's not going to win the world title. I do think, though, that if Roman is not involved in that segment with Rock and Cody earlier in the night, I do think that Roman Reigns will cost Seth Rollins his spot in his match inside of this chamber. I think Roman will probably beat up Seth, you know, for the double curb stomp from Royal Rumble, and this will cost Seth the match, and this will set up Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns for Mania 41, and what will hopefully, if they do that, be like an I Quit match or a last man standing match to officially settle this once and for all, and hopefully leading up to it, Roman Reigns can show up to work, and same with Seth, so that way we can get a good feud and a solid build for what should be a pretty good match between two greats of this generation. Then we have John Cena. I think John Cena's story in this whole return arc is basically going to be the fact that he'll get close to winning the world title or having a chance at it. Like at the Rumble, he was final 2 with Jey Uso, and everyone, including myself, thought he was going to, you know, probably close that out. But, you know, you knew there was a chance that Jey would win. But then, you know, Cena lost, obviously, right? I think Cena's whole story is just going to be him getting close, but not winning until like the very latter parts of this year. And so I think he'll get close to winning this chamber like he was at the Rumble, but ultimately, I think CM Punk will either call in a favor from Heyman or do something else or just win clean and end up beating John Cena inside of this match. Maybe Cena eliminates Logan Paul in this match, so Logan turns on Cena, you know, and just starts beating him up and costs him his moment versus Punk, or knocks them both out or costs them both individually. But either way, I think Cena loses, and I think CM Punk is the only main narrative that makes sense, at least long term, or at least even short term, you know, at this point, because Cena ain't showing up, so there you have it. And because his narrative is the only one I think really works with Cody's, piece, and CM Punk is someone who I think could turn heel and really make this feud engaging. But because I think Cody's gonna stay face for this Mania, man. I really do. I thought for a second that he might turn heel over the last month or two, but I don't think he's going to. I think CM Punk is going to be the one who eventually turns heel, or at least plays an anti-hero role, like a half face, half heel role, in order to make this feud watchable, going into Mania 41. But I think CM Punk wins, and he will be fighting Cody in the main event for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 41, and that's basically going to be that. Pretty much every single match has a booking flaw heading into it, and quite frankly, because of those booking flaws, they're probably going to rear their heads at this pay-per-view. Also, there's only 4 matches here. There's no titles defended on this PLE, and that just really ruins some of the excitement for this pay-per-view. So that's really all I have to say about it. I think this PLE looks like a complete and utter, below mid, just not good. Just not good. At the end of the day, there's not that much hype, there's not that much intrigue, and there's literally, like I mentioned, there's literally a booking or storyline related issue, or an in-ring issue, for example, like with the Tiffany and Trish versus Nia and Candice match, that this is just not going to be able to overcome it at the end of the day. That's just the way I predicted, and that's the way I see it going. I think this PLE will cap out at a 5 to 6 out of 10 max, and it's really as simple as that. So with that being said, let me know what you think is going to go down at the Chamber, and as always, I thank you guys so much for watching. Have a phenomenal day. Peace out. One love.